Okay. So, yeah, so black tourmaline. So this is the one that I mentioned that I use, but there are other black stones that can usually be used for protection. So it's primarily used for grounding and protection against negative energy and creates a stabilizing force for those who use it. So it's useful for creating energetic boundaries and protection against negative energies. You could have it grounding during times of stress and is highly resonant with the root chakra and supports physical stability and safety. So you could cleanse it with water or place on dry salt. Sorry. And you can charge it in sunlight or moonlight. So you can place it near points in your home or workspace for ongoing protective benefits. So usually people, would have it um four corners of your property or by the entrance, wherever they think that the most negative energy is. Properties of citrine. So citrine is quite a popular, I see a lot of this on the market. It's a stone of abundance and stone of joy and carries warm, vibrant energies associated with positive confidence, positivity, confidence, and motivation.
Excuse.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the page.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
Shucks. Okay, I didn't click share. Okay, y'all seen it now?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, great. Right. So it's used for abundance and prosperity, emotional uplift, and personal power. You can cleanse it with self-cleansing or with water a little bit, and you can charge it in sunlight. People put it in their wallet as well, or workspace to promote positivity and attract abundance. So selenite is also a useful one. I see people sell this by the very, very big pieces. I haven't seen small jewelry pieces, but it's used for cleansing and purifying, and it's named after the Greek goddess of the moon, Selene. So it will have a calming and ethereal energy that is associated with the moon. So because of its cleansing and clearing properties, it's used to clear stagnant energy from spaces and other crystals and the aura. So it is good to have it in your place, especially if it is that you want to keep that constant cleansing going on. I remember we were gonna get like a big selenite circle piece that with our logo on it to have as in the space, but it was just too expensive. So it's also a spiritual connection as it's a
Hi, ma'am.
yeah.
Hello. What size you wanted it? The selenite, you can message me
Okay, no.
because I order stuff and I can get a price for you to see if I don't know what size you want. Be- And we can see if we can get it done. You can let me know.
Okay, no problem. I'll message you.
Okay, thanks.
Right. It works to help with meditation and promotes mental clarity, and then as a sleep aid. So it self-cleanse and it's used as a cleaning station for other crystals as well. So it's something good to have on your setup if it is that you use multiple crystals in your life. So if you've ever felt selenite, it can dissolve when wet. So you do really want to get it on water. And then charge it. It works with the moonlight simply because it's associated with the moon goddess. And like I said, it can be used in spaces where you want to keep calm, clear energy. So normally you would put it like doorways or windows, but if you can't, you having it in your space is good enough. Now this one is my favorite. It's Lapis Lazuli. It's known as the stone of wisdom, and it's deep blue with crystal speckles. So this is actually used a lot in um the Arabian countries. It's so beautiful, right? So this is what it looks like. So there's one that is sodalite. It looks quite similar to lapis lazuli and is cheaper. So you see, it looks quite the same if you don't know what to, like, if you look at it at a glance, right? So if somebody make a bead with it, it might be hard to figure out what it is because it still has these gold flecks in it. But knowing how to identify them will be something that you'll have as part of your homework. So that's where you will see the difference between sodalite and lapis lazuli. So lapis lazuli has these it actually looks like gold embedded in it. If you ever see like gold in like a resin or something, it looks like that. Okay, so usually it's used for people who are very like they study a lot or they use they have to use emotional awareness, I should say, because it has intuition and awareness associated with it, symbolizing truth, wisdom, and inner vision. So it has to do with honesty and communicating, especially it's being true to oneself and being one's authentic self. So it's also help with emotional healing. So it helps release anger, frustration, and past traumas. And is especially associated with verbal or emotion suppression. So I guess maybe this is why I have lapis lazuli as my favorite, you know? Because we all have things to go on in our life. So this is how you cleanse it with water, or you can smudge it. Again, Palo Santo or sage tends to be a little bit controversial, so please take into consideration what you're gonna smudge it with. And avoid salt as it can damage the stone surface. So you can charge it in moonlight, avoid sunlight as it may fade over time. So you store it in a cloth bag or a jewelry box to protect it, as lapis lazuli can be delicate. Carnelian. So this is a warm to red stone known for stimulating and energizing effects, called the stone of courage or stone of vitality. It boosts creativity and motivation. It increases courage and confidence, and there's physical vitality. So physical vitality would be physical stamina and supporting reproductive organs, and useful for improving physical health and energy. So you can rinse it with a bit of water or put it in your sunlight. It does not hold negative energy and typically does not require extensive cleansing. So you can charge it in sunlight because it's one of the crystals associated with the sun. So you don't have to wear it on you, but you can put it near you for it to do what it needs to do. Green aventurine. So now green aventurine is, people usually sell green aventurine as jade sometimes because of the color. So you see the color is quite similar to jade. So you can see. So you see it's quite similar, and it's kind of hard to at a glance distinct the difference between the two of them. So that's why it's important to know what it is that you're purchasing, right? So if it is somebody has a new job and you want to give them something, this is a good one, as it promotes stone of opportunity, and it's for prosperity, luck, and emotional healing. So it's considered one of the luckiest stones, often used in manifestation practices related to success and prosperity. So this is a good way that, to let somebody know that you wish them well in their new job or whatever opportunity it is that they have achieved. Emotional balance and healing of the heart. So this stone is ideal for emotional healing, compassion, and forgiveness, often used for those going through emotional pain or trauma. So you can cleanse it with water or dry salt and charge it in sunlight or moonlight, whichever one. And you can keep it in your pocket or spaces where you want to invite growth, luck, or new opportunities. So smoky quartz. So this is one of the quote-unquote black crystals. So it's for grounding and protection to neutralize negative energy and stability. Emotional release. So you let go of old patterns and emotional blockages, helping with stress relief and calming the mind. You can cleanse it with dry salt or rinse underwater. So it absorbs dense energy well, so you need regular cleansing is helpful. And you can charge it in sunlight, but you can also use moonlight. Again, it depends on the intention. And you keep it where you need to. So, general tips for crystal care. Keep your crystals in a clean, dry space. Wrap softer stones in cloth to protect them. So usually when you purchase your crystals, it will come with a care kit or it will come in like a velvet cloth or a velvet bag. So usually this is what you would store it in. And intention setting. So regularly set or refresh intentions for your crystals to align them with your healing goals. And like Shalini said, you need to respect your crystals as partners, give it back to the earth, right? Maintain your crystal, handling them with respect and awareness of their natural energies. So, right, so the energetic properties and colors and crystal families. So the color and mineral family of a crystal can offer clues about energetic properties. So remember I was saying that the black crystals would be usually associated with protection and cleansing of negative energies. The clear and white would be associated with purity and clarity and spiritual connection. So this is often linked to your crown chakra and they help clear mental clutter and raise spiritual awareness. So purple crystals represent intuition, peace, and protection, commonly used for calming and connecting to a higher consciousness. They resonate with the third eye and crown chakras. Pink and green crystals link to love, compassion, and healing, and they resonate with the heart chakra, helping to heal emotional wounds, build compassion, and encourage self-acceptance. So black and red is used with grounding, protection, and vitality, and they work primarily with the root chakra. Yellow and orange crystals are associated with joy, confidence, and creativity. So you can see the colors have an association that kind of work with them, right? So they work with the solar plexus and sacral chakras. Blue crystal has to do with the mind, so it has to do with calm, community, and clarity, and it's linked to the throat chakra. So it supports speaking one's truth, improving communication, and fostering peace. So for this one, if it is that you have trouble expressing yourself, the lapis lazuli is something good that you can wear. If you wear it around your neck, where your throat chakra is, it can help you with, getting your voice heard. Because sometimes if your throat chakra is blocked, it means that you have a blockage in communication and you're not able to effectively communicate. Regardless of what it is, you have it, issues communicating and voicing, quote unquote, your truth. So crystal families and their characteristics. So we know the quartz family with clear quartz, rose quartz, and amethyst. There's the feldspar family, which is the labradorite and moonstone. So moonstone is usually is associated with transformation and intuition. So this usually has to deal with change, self-reflection, spiritual development. So, transformation can both be physical and hidden. Okay, so tourmaline family, there's different types of tourmaline and they are used for grounding and protection. So, how to use a crystal? So, basically you need to, I'm not going to go through each point, but I'm just going to identify, the major points in this one. So basically you reflect on your need, what it is that you need, what it is you're hoping to achieve, what is your goal, and how long do you want this to be? And then you define your intention. So what it is that you want this crystal for. And then what is your outcome? So you sit down and you ask yourself what it is or what changes you hope to see while you work with the crystals. So having an idea of what you want can strengthen your connection with the crystal in directing its energy more effectively. So you match your energetic needs with specific stones. So some example would be clarity and focus would be clear quartz, emotional healing and self-love, rose quartz, So I picked, so stress, ground and protection, etc. I picked stones that we were familiar with or that I would have mentioned before with these specific ones, right? And then you use your intuition to guide you to the particular crystals that you want. And then you trust this feeling because this is very important. Trusting your intuition and allow your energy to align with the stone. The hand test is if you're choosing from selection, you hold each crystal in your hand and pay attention to how it feels. So is it warm? Is it tingly? Do you feel calm? Do you feel cold? So these are the physical reactions that can indicate an energetic match. So again, look for visual or emotional attraction. Sometimes we feel drawn to a crystal because of its color, shape, or overall appearance. And this attraction is often a sign that the crystal resonates with you energetically. Okay, Shalini, do you have any other things that we could add to this about choosing the crystals?
Hi, Miss, you hearing me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, sorry, good. Oh, I was had a call there for a moment, right? So what I believe in and what I know is most times I believe that we choose the crystals, right? You just don't go into a store and like if it has like a million different of the same ornaments, you just pick up one and you go. You have a innate feeling and an innate calling for which crystal is yours. You have a connection with that crystal. And that is a true thing. I do believe in, and I think that's the only thing I wanted to add in, right? You and a crystal actually have that magnetic connection with it because it has each crystal has a connection with you. That's what I do believe in. So rather than you call in and even if it's a online store, as I have a physical store and you're doing sales, I also video and I say, okay, I give each of my clients the opportunity to choose your crystal, right? Because it has, I don't want to use the word spirit in it, but it has your crystal has your own divine messages in it. And that's just really it about it. Because I am very connected to it, and that is my experience I like to share with you all. Right. Thank you.
Problem. So the last step, like Shalini said, is connecting with your crystals. So you would cleanse it before you use it simply because you need to purify it from whatever it would have had from its previous environment during storage, transportation, harvesting, whatever it is. You need to cleanse it before you use it and set it or charge it for the intention that you want. And then you would work with it until you get your desired effect, and then or it will break or it will lose or whatever the case is, and then you send it back to earth, and then if it is that you don't lose it, you still have it, you just charge it, you cleanse it and charge it for storage. Okay, so I do apologize if you're hearing noise. I live on the main road, so okay. So crystal care and maintenance. This is a short one. I'm not gonna go through all. I'm just gonna mention the different ways. So you could use dry salt. Usually people use like sea salt or Himalayan salt, rock salt. Any natural salt would help. Salt water. So salt water, when negative energy, anything, we go to the beach. Some people go and finish their prayers in salt water. So salt water is a good way to cleanse things as well. Of course, we avoid salt water for the stones that we mentioned, not to put them in. Okay, so running water helps to clean as well. Rainwater, spring water, etc. can also be used because it's considered like natural, non-stagnant water. And then moonlight, sunlight, smudging, and sound cleansing. So sound cleansing is if you can't use any of the others, is usually have a singing bowl and a tuning fork. You could You could use a bell. So usually with a lot of prayers, you would have a bell being rung during the, times. So that's for sound cleansing. So it's the same thing as you would use for your crystals. So that the singing bowl looks singing. Okay, so the singing bowl looks like this, and you just pass the stick around the edge. So the thing is, these singing bowls have been tuned to specific sounds, so it's very easy to use. And then the tuning forks. I think you also be familiar with tuning forks, but yeah, this is what the tuning forks look like. It's also something that you could use. So you program and charge crystals with intention. So we went through the steps before when we talk about choosing your crystals and your intention. So this is like what you're going to do. So you will have your crystal in your hands and find a calm and quiet place. Take a few deep breaths to center yourself, and then you want to focus on your intention. So it depends on how you're able to do this. If you want verbally or mentally, this is up to you. You state your intention. You state what you want to do and what you want to get from this. And then you visualize your intention, because it's like, this is the ending point. This is where I want to end up. And this is where I want this crystal to take me. And you start using it. So once you finish cleansing it, you want to charge it before you use it. So sunlight or moonlight is very good. It's natural. You don't have to pay for it. You just put it outside and you get the charging properties. Now, the moonlight, depending on the moon phase, you would use the different moon phases associated with that specific crystal. Okay, crystal clusters. So we mentioned that selenite and clear quartz can charge and cleanse the stone. So if it is that you don't have access to sunlight or moonlight, for example, the moonlight is blocked out by neighbors or trees. Usually, if it is that you definitely want direct moonlight, you can use crystal clusters. Again, this might be a little pricey, but if you have it, especially with a clear quartz, you can do that. And then earth energy. So you can bury your crystals in the earth, allow them to earth or reconnect with the grounding energies. The same way you will go outside and walk barefoot and ground yourself and kind of like attune yourself with nature. Is the same thing for crystals, because crystals are part of nature. So you do that, you take it out and you use it. So storage is that you can store it in these pouches or cloth by type, so that you don't have you don't have energies conflicting. So you don't want grounding stones near higher vibration stones like amethyst. So you kind of separate it accordingly like that. Display with care. So you don't want to put them in direct sunlight if they're sensitive to light. You can display them on wooden shelves or fabric layers. It's wherever is safest. And then you have a designated space for healing work. So oftentimes you would go by the practitioner or the Reiki or crystal practitioner, simply because they would have a space set up where they can work on this tube. They can have this, and this is like a sacred space already. It's been set up. So that way, the crystals can do what it needs to do. And when carrying crystals with you can keep them in a soft pouch to prevent breaking. Avoid multiple hard stones together as they can scratch each other. And you can use them in jewelry as well, but really and truly depends on, there's only so much jewelry that you could wear, right? Okay. So properties. So practical applications. So we use them for meditation with crystals. We already reached almost 10 o'clock, so y'all can take your time and read through the details. But with anything, you choose a crystal, you prepare for your meditation, you set your intention, and then you focus on the energy and the results that you want. So this is the one that I had, the energy balancing and chakra alignment. So I put the color associated with the different chakra points. So root chakra, we learned that the black and red crystals would be associated with these. And again, I use the most common crystals. There are others that can be used based on availability. So there's the root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart chakra, throat chakra, the third eye, and your crown chakra. So you can place the crystals on your body for the different chakra points. Where you lie down comfortably, you place the crystals on your the corresponding chakra. Visualize the energy of each crystal balancing and opening the chakra, and spend a few minutes with each stone, allowing the energy to flow and realign the chakra. And you focus on your breath. Breathe deeply as you move through each chakra, visualizing color and energy associated with that chakra flowing into balance. So crystal elixirs and grids, these are something that you would have to do some extra research on, but I choose to mention it if it is that you do decide to work with crystals, you know, there is more to it than just wearing it as jewelry or having it in your space. So I was talking about charging your water with crystals, and this is known as a crystal elixir because you can drink it and get the properties of that crystals. Now, not all can be used for direct contact with water. So you can use it, like I said, you put the container with the water over the crystal or around or near it to be able to charge it. So here you can use it for sprays, you can drink it, you can make it in teas, you can put it in baths. So people do herbal baths and stuff, so you can add it to your herbal baths for energy clearing. So maybe Shalane could add some light on this one, which is crystal grids. So usually this is for people, you lay out your crystals in arrangements and you focus on energy for specific intentions. And this is basically amplifying your intention and because the design is specific for what it is that you want. So for example, a circle or a flower of life pattern enhances the grid focus. So depending on the shape, right, that is for your intention. So the central crystal will be placed in the middle of your grid, and this is to amplify the grid. And then the smaller crystals will be around it. So it would be the ones that resonate with your intention. And then you kind of connect with the clear quartz and then you activate the grid. So this is a hands-on practice that you can try and y'all could tell us about it. Okay, so here you can read it. It is a article on crystal grids. So here you would read a little more about it, how they are set up, how they are used. So basically, this is what one of the setup looks like, where you have your amplifying crystal in the middle. There's the pattern that they're using, and they lay out the crystals in this pattern. So you can see, you know, for each of the different parts of the flower or mandala, and then on the outside, you see they finish off in a circular pattern. This one, so you don't have to use crystals alone. You can use crystals with other herbs or flowers. So maybe this has rose quartz in it. So you see there are flowers or pink flowers associated with love, etc. These look like rose petals. So more than likely this would have been set up for self-love. This is another one. This looks like amethyst in the middle. So it probably has to do with higher energy and mental clarity. So this is another setup. This one looks like protection because it has the black tourmaline on the sides. This looks like sodalite around it, clear crystals, etc. So y'all can read the articles and go through it. It was a nice read for me, very enlightening.
Okay, miss. Okay, so I just want to just add in one thing really quickly. Okay, so that last one, yes, said for protection is to the Merkaba, right? But as you say, agreed, and what I like to advise a lot of parents and a lot of people that may have elderly family, probably foreign, etc. What we could do, a grid, as you just say, a grid, a mandala is a form. And what we could visualize, do if we don't have our children in front of us, they have an exam, our family is away, etc. We could picture them itself as the grid itself and encircle them in the energy mandala, or as you just rightfully said, the Merkaba or the star, we might believe it's in the cross or the circle, and we could visualize and see, visualize the crystals around them and send the healing properties around them mentally. And if we intentionally go back and we intentionally know it in our heart, the crystals itself has that property. We don't necessarily, yes, we have people believe you have to have it in your hand. But if you believe it and you send out that energy to them, the child have the exam, or this person is doing the surgery, they have this interview, it is believed that the energies of the crystals and the visualization of the crystal grids on the child, the person in the surgery room, etc., the healing properties do reach them. Right. So that's it I really wanted to add.
So
Thank you.
So I saw some people locally selling these, but they were like a lot of money, right? So basically what happens is that they have these water bottles, and in the bottles, it's like a double layer. And what happens is that they put the crystal on the inside. So this bottom piece here unscrews, you put in your crystal, and then you have it. Again, I think it was like $500-$600 for one. If you know who your supplier is, you can buy it online, but it's not necessary. If it is that, you can just use it, around your normal water bottle. So there are a lot of products on the market. How do people use it? They use it. So this would be a crystal elixir then, because in this one you'll be drinking it. There's another one where they have a variation of crystals under. So in this case, you can put different crystals based on your purpose. Again, it's not necessary if it is, because like I said, it's very expensive for that. Okay, so the last topic is integrating crystals with other holistic modalities. So as you can see, it is a powerful ally with other healing practices. It's very good for a lot of things, both physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So it makes sense for you to be able to use it with other holistic practices. So I will not be teaching aromatherapy simply because it's a bit dangerous, and that's not a risk that I want to take, especially at a beginner level. Because this course is open to general public. I don't know what people will do when they leave this class. So massage therapy and aromatherapy is something that I did not put. I did consider massage therapy, but when I did the objectives on it, the safety alone for massage would take up the 2 hours. So I scratched it and I decided to put in fermentation and broths instead. Okay, so back to the topic, aromatherapy and crystals. So they can work together because it works with the properties of the crystals as well as the specific essential oil for the effect that you want. So for example, you can use, for calming, you can use your lavender, eucalyptus, whatever essential oil that you use for calming with amethyst or any of the crystals associated with calming effect. So there's like grounding practices. So you could use black tourmaline or smoky quartz with vetiver or cedarwood. Self-love, rose quartz with rose or geranium oil. And okay, so application methods for your essential oil. pure essential oil is very, very, very concentrated and must be used with a carrier oil, or you can use it in a diffuser. So you can use it in your diffuser. I think most of you would have a basic essential oil diffuser. There are different ways that you can use it. There's like a pad where you apply the essential oil. It has water in it, and the steam causes the oil to come up. So basically, somewhere here in the bottom is where you'll put it. The steam would allow it to come up and come out. And the essential oil, because it's a volatile oil, is going to come in your steam and it's going to go where it needs to go. You can also put it, if you don't want it in the air, you can put it on some cotton pads and have it on you or near you. This is usually used in the clinics for people when they're using aromatherapy as an option. So you have your crystal infused oil. So you can put the oils, there's a carrier oil that you will use. So when we did herbal infusions, we talk about carrier oils. So you choose your carrier oil and you infuse your crystal with it, and then you add the essential oils to be able to blend the energy and really set in what you're going to use it for. Okay, so we talked about sound healing when we mentioned the tuning fork, the bells, and the bowl, the singing bowl. So when you have sound cleaning, because some people may not be able to use smudging, especially if you're in a rental place or you live with other people, you can't do anything like with incense and smoke, because you of other people or allergies or anything. Sound healing is an option that you can use. So you can use crystals with the sound. So you can put your crystals on or around the body. Again, this is depending on where you want the crystal to work. And then you're going to make the vibrations or sound noise. Well, the tune. Oh my goodness. Ow. Okay, yeah, the tune with, sorry. Yes. That you need that aligns with that specific crystal, and use it to help cleanse and activate the crystals. And the sound will enhance the crystal's property. Crystal bowls. So this might be like a pricey option, but it's still an option. So what you'll do, instead of using like the metal singing bowls, they're crystal bowls that you use to combine crystal energy and sound healing. And this is because the bowl's vibrations harmonize with specific chakras, which we mentioned before when we talk about the chakra crystals, and then this will amplify the energy of crystals that you have. Okay, intentional sound grids. So the same way that you made the small grid of crystals, you can place a specific sound vibration that resonates with the grid's intention. So the example that I put here is if you use a sound bowl tuned to the heart chakra while sitting in a grid of rose quartz and green aventurine for love and healing. So, sorry. Yes. Okay, so herbal medicine and crystals. So you can use it with the tinctures, elixirs, teas, etc. So some people, you can do it like how you do the water infusion, etc. So like if it is that you're doing the elixir, which is water-based, you can make a tea with it. So you can say, okay, this is how you're pairing it. So we talk about rose being linked to self-love and stuff. So using rose tea with rose quartz would help with heart healing and emotional balance, etc. So I mentioned that you can put it to your herbal baths. People who do bath soaks, the foot soaks, etc. You can add it